So the most overused piece of content creation advice you've probably heard is just be consistent. That's the way you grow. That's how you should show up. Just be consistent, consistent, consistent. And truthfully, I work in this industry and I have thought many times when I see that statement, I'm like, what the hell does that actually mean? Does it mean you need to post every day? Does it mean you never get to take any kind of break? Or does it mean you have to stick to some crazy rigid schedule that makes you want to literally throw your phone out the window? So today I want to break down what I think as a content strategist, what consistency really means and how to structure it for yourself as a small business owner. Because truthfully, I'm really sick and tired of seeing amazing business owners go out and start their content creation journey, get burnt out, all in the name of consistency because they think it means torturing themselves with posting multiple times a day. So we're going to break this down once and for all. First thing we need to break down, what does consistency actually look like on social media and what does it look like for you in your terms? Because there truly is no one size fits all approach. Real consistency isn't about just following this formula of post one time a day every single day for the rest of your life. It's about finding content that works for you, that makes sense for your business, how you create things, how you communicate things. And for me, it's going to look completely different from you. And that's why I think a lot of people really get confused with this idea of consistency. What I know I can consistently do is show up one time a month and batch record 4 to 5 YouTube videos. That works with my energy levels, that works with my workflow, my schedule, and most importantly, my ADHD, because my energy levels fluctuate. I cannot commit to sitting down every single week, creating a YouTube video, and then trying to create content from it. So instead, I know that consistency for me means showing up one day a month and then repurposing my content into 20 to 30 pieces of other pieces of content from that core YouTube video each and every week. That's what works for me. So the key here is to playing into your strengths and not forcing things that you hate. So if you despise being on camera every single day, then stop trying to force Reels content creation every single day. If writing captions feels like pulling teeth, cool. Maybe create more in-depth visuals, graphics, videos so that your captions can be a lot shorter. Because the thing is, consistency isn't about how much you post or how many times you're posting or how frequently you're posting. Consistency, to me, and where this is most important, is in your messaging and how often you can deliver that message in a consistent manner. Your audience needs to hear the same core messages over and over and over again, and that is what it means to be consistent on social media. That's how you build trust. That's how you grow. That's how you become known for who it is you are, what your expertise is, and what you do, who you serve, the problems that you solve, the offers that you have, the services that you provide. That is what is more important when it comes to consistency. So if you notice, I talk about sustainable content strategies day in and day out. I talk about it on social. I talk about it in email. It is the same message over and over and over again in different formats, kind of produced in a slightly different way. But everything that I create comes down to that core message of creating sustainable content strategies. So if you're constantly switching up your message or constantly switching up your angle, that is where consistency will actually fall flat. You could be producing 7 different videos a day, but if it doesn't lead into those consistent, hard-hitting messages that you need to get across, I would say that doesn't mean you're consistent on social media. It means you just know how to post a lot. So this is where we need to start discussing what is actually not consistent on social media. Just because some bro marketer told you on his podcast that posting every day is consistency on social media, I actually want to reframe how you think about this. And again, this is just my personal experience. If you post every day, that is a number that we can assign. Like, I posted once today. I posted twice today. And ultimately, I like to associate numbers with frequency. I post frequently, whereas consistency, I think, is more of a state of mind, if you will. It is something that you work towards and make sure you maintain for the long term. Whereas frequency can change in the short term. It can change day to day. I can post 1 time today. I can post 3 times tomorrow. My frequency changes, but my consistency might stay the same as long as I'm delivering the same message and talking about what it is I need to be talking about on social media. So I want to break this down into a very visual scenario for you. So let's get into a scenario here. Person A, let's say they post frequently. They are posting 2 to 3 times every single day on Instagram specifically. And let's say they can keep up with that for 2 to 3 months. They get super burnt out and then they ghost their audience for 2 to 3 months. And they repeat that cycle. So over a year's time, they have posted a lot of content. They have had a high frequency, but they haven't had consistency, meaning in a short duration of time, they've posted a lot of content, but they aren't consistently delivering a message day in and day out over that span of a year. Whereas person B, maybe they show up and they post to Instagram 2 to 3 times a week, but they maintain that throughout the entire year. So they might not have as high of a frequency, but they are going to be consistently delivering the message that they need to be over the long term. So that's the main difference that I want you to think about. You can have a high frequency with a low bar for consistency, and vice versa. You can have lower frequency, but you can maintain consistency. So remember, associate the word frequency with the short term, more number-based. Consistency, I want you to think long-term, more messaging-based. And as you start thinking about this, I want you to have some type of schedule when it comes to creating and posting content. And this does not mean that you need to stick to that schedule and be very rigid and never take a break. Instead, it can be flexible, but know that you need to hit certain points. So for me, I will routinely take breaks from YouTube. Like that is my core piece of content that I like to create and make sure they go out every single week. Sometimes there are busier seasons, or sometimes I do want to go on vacation, and sometimes I try and batch before, and sometimes that doesn't always work. But I know that this is baked into how I approach content creation. If I can get, 40 to 45 videos out every single year, long form YouTube videos, that works for me. Yes, of course, I would love to have a YouTube video go out each and every week for all 52 weeks of the year. But I know that that's not sustainable, or sometimes things change. But I bake that into the routine, knowing that, hey, I'm going to have a break around this time, but I'm still consistently creating on YouTube. And I also want to give you permission to avoid things that you know you cannot consistently do. I've had so many peers of mine tell me that they make so much money and they really connect with their audience in Instagram stories. And I have tried to be consistent on Instagram stories, and it simply does not work for me because I have to day in and day out plug into the platform. Whereas I am a batching person, and the thought of creating and posting in real time every single day makes me want to throw up. Like Instagram stories truly do not work for me. So this is where you also need to start playing with formats and the types of content that you're posting, the platforms you're posting on. Does it work with the way you define consistency for you? And you want to know what does kill consistency? It's going to be switching up your message every few days. It's going to be hopping from platform to platform. It's going to be hopping from trend to trend that doesn't fit your business. You need to pick a lane and stick with it so that you can see results over the long term. So how do you actually build consistency when it comes to content creation for social media? The first thing that you want to do is find your content format that is an easy win. Basically, this is just a fancy way of saying pick a piece of content that feels natural for you to create and doesn't drain your soul entirely. For me, it looks like long-form video content because I'm a yapper. I can sit down and talk directly to this camera for a longer period of time. All I need is some notes or an outline and I can just yap, 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 yap. Maybe you prefer writing. You absolutely hate showing up on camera. Instead, lean into things like threads or LinkedIn style posts, or you can even take something that you wrote and speak about it into a microphone, and there you have a podcast. Or maybe like me, you do enjoy showing up on camera, but you don't want to talk for so long. Maybe you need to lean in to that shorter form content that you just only need to talk for 15 to 30 seconds. You need to find content styles, content formats, and content platforms that really lean into your strengths. You need to start there first. Then you need to create systems that support consistency. This can look like some kind of content planning tool. Maybe you lean into content batching. Maybe you have content templates. Maybe you use scheduling tools, or a little bit of all of the above. For me, I need all of the things in terms of creating a content system. I need the Notion dashboard and the AI tools and the content templates because I like to batch my content and I like to just get it planned, get it posted, and get it moving. Whereas for you, maybe you like to post every single day. You like just showing up and saying whatever comes to mind. Cool. Maybe to make that easier, what system can you have? Like, do you have a running list of ideas that you can tap into when maybe you don't have ideas, but create some kind of system that will allow you to build that consistency without the burnout. And the last one, and honestly the most important, is you need to have some kind of plan for when you do have low energy periods, because they are going to happen. And this is the key to maintaining consistency over the long term. You need to have content types that you know you can produce when you're running on fumes. And there are other content types that maybe you can lean into when you have more capacity. And you have to know the difference between the two and how you can plan accordingly so that you can build that consistency over the long term. So for me, when I'm in more of a low energy period or a low energy phase, sometimes I will go like a year back and look at what YouTube videos were performing really well, maybe update or tweak the outline and just re-record it. Or sometimes if I'm like, TikTok is just not within my bandwidth right now, I am repurposing or reusing a lot of old content or content from other platforms instead of having to create new things. And for me, that's my contingency plan for when I have those low periods. Now let's talk about how you can measure your consistency. Because likes and followers aren't the whole story. It doesn't paint the entire picture of the progress and the work that you're putting in towards being consistent. We want to look at the quality of engagement that you're getting versus just the quantity. Yes, quantity and upward growth is important, but we also want to measure things that we might not just see on the insights on Instagram. Are people responding to your content? Are they commenting? Are they initiating conversations in the DMs? Are people engaging with it beyond just a simple tap on the screen? Are people actually taking action with it? Maybe they saw a video you put out and they sent you a DM saying, oh my God, I implemented that tip and it changed my life. Like, that is something that we can't tangibly see in an analytics spreadsheet, but it is something that shows the success of your consistency. Or maybe people are reaching out to work with you. They've seen your content day in and day out, and maybe they started following you 6 months ago, and now, after seeing the content you've been consistently putting out, they've decided to work with you at your highest package of whatever service it is you offer. Again, another metric that we can tie towards success and how you're being consistent that, again, might not show up on your Instagram insights. We want to make sure we are tracking things like email subscribers. Like, are they going up? Are you getting more website traffic? Are you getting more inquiries and leads? And look at other metrics in your business just beyond or growth count. And then be realistic with yourself about the timelines, because again, consistency is thinking long term. You're not going to see results of being consistent after a couple of days or a couple weeks even. This stuff takes months and years for you to see the results of. And if you're not seeing massive growth after just a few weeks, it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. You just haven't given it time to play itself out yet. Because real success when it comes to consistency on social media looks like you actually showing up and enjoying the content that you're creating. It looks like your audience knowing exactly what to expect from you. It also looks like building genuine relationships online that go past just a quick follow. Like, you're actually building social relationships with people. So here's the bottom line. Consistency is personal and it's not prescribed. It's not prescribed by me. It's not prescribed by the Instagram bro marketer you listen to his podcasts. It's truly about showing up regularly in a way that makes sense for you, your business, your life, your energy, and overall how you want to be present on social media. It's not about following some arbitrary daily posting schedule that makes you absolutely miserable. And if you want help building a content system to help you with your consistency, I recommend that you sign up for the content system waitlist below. And remember, content creation should support your business, not consume it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next week.